What up, Nick Nation? It's your boy Juby the Tubi. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me turn on this light, make things look a little bit better. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys are staying safe. Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA lottery is only a few days away, and so many rumors are picking up. So many things are being spoken about. It's that time of year where reporters make their money, where social media goes crazy, and us as content creators come out there and we decipher what is real, what is not. But of course, we had to come on here, bring you the latest on rumors like Russell Westbrook to the Knicks. Again, those talks are happening. Some of us might agree on it, some of us not. D'Angelo Russell, of course, is still out there. Donovan Mitchell, rumors are still there. Rudy Gobert. And here's a new one for you. Phil Jackson wants LeBron James out of LA, and he wants to keep Westbrook. So maybe LeBron James is next rumor you're going to hear about it. Stick around. I'm Juby the Tubi, Straight Talk Family above everything. In a second, we're going to be joined with Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV, my boy, my co-host. Stick around, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes. What up, Nick Nation? It's your boy Juby the Tubi. Hope you guys are doing good. Salute to you guys here on Nick Nation. Again, guys, like I said in my little intro, rumors are heating up again, and I know we don't want to talk about it. I don't really want to hear about it, but the Russell Westbrook rumors are starting to pick up again. The Donovan Mitchell rumors are picking up again. Rudy Gobert, like I mentioned, Brunson, D'Angelo Russell, so many things going on. But appreciate you guys coming in here. Let's get Zen Ray in here. I haven't spoken to him in a few days, and I'm pretty sure he has a whole lot to tell us. So let's bring on Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, Zen Ray. All right. Hello, Zen Ray.
You hear me?
I hear you, my friend. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting
You shouldn't have no more echo feedback. You should be good now.
no. Someone is telling me in the chat that my video ended for some reason. I don't know why.
Your
don't have an
video,
end screen,
your video
so
ended.
I don't think it is.
I
No,
will.
I think it's still running.
I'll tell you right
Check
now,
me
my
out,
friend.
Ruby.
I got you right now.
And I agree with King Ribby RM. He's saying that we need to trade Randall for Russ contract. Then we can hand over the 40, 60 million cap to sign a free agent. That is a very, very good point. If you guys hear me and see me, let me
You're
know in
good.
the chat.
You're still live, Zenray. I just checked right
Okay.
now. All is
All right.
good. All sounds good. Salute out to
Beautiful.
everybody at Zenray Sports TV. We appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. But a lot of rumors, Zenray. I know you've been talking to your chat about the D'Angelo Russell for Julius Randle. I know that was your big title. I know we spoke about that in the last few days, last past week. Me and you've been going back and forth. I've heard some rumors. I'm pretty sure you have. Some of the rumors I heard make sense? Maybe not, but there's still rumors. It's that time of year where sports reporters and social media, this is where they make their money. This is where they make their most noise. It's the NBA offseason almost. Well, it's the offseason for the Knicks. But I'll let you kick things off and let my viewers know what have you heard lately, and explain to us about the D'Angelo Russell, because my viewers kind of missed that part.
Well, D'Angelo Russell right now, like I was mentioning before, to be an option for the Knicks. The reason is by addition by subtraction. You have to get rid of Julius Randle from here. Julius has to find somewhere else to play, unfortunately, because we need to have Obi Toppin in that lineup. That's been the big beef. And the people that say that they can play together, I don't see that happening. I don't see Tibbs doing that. Oil and water does not mix, like I mentioned before. You can't have a disgruntled player who's kind of a me player, and then you have this outgoing, loving, smiling Obi Toppin who wants you to not play the game and have fun, but to make other players around him better. And that's the kind of synergistic approach you need for this Knicks team. You need no Debbie Downers who are always mad at the referees, fighting with their players, smacking laptops from their assistant coaches because they don't want to hear it. We can't stand for that. So Julius Randle has to go some way, somehow. But I have a feeling that if they don't trade Julius Randle, I think the Knicks can take another step back, because of the more of the youth that you're bringing in, it's like a spoiled apple, It just spoils the bunch. And we need to get rid of Julius Randle quick, fast, and give this youthful team an energetic lift by putting Obi Toppin in the starting lineup. Bring some Cam Reddish in there, some Quentin Grimes. You sign Mitchell Robinson, and you can make this team work. If you do bring D'Angelo Russell here, you can still have Quickly as the backup with Rose, and do what Quickly does best, which is bring the second unit alive, and bringing Rose with him as well, and Cam Reddish and the other players on the bench, Quentin Grimes. This could be a formidable team. The pluses with D'Angelo Russell is he doesn't only score for your team, he does pass the ball. His differences he had with Coach Fitch is he didn't want to play the two. He wants to be the point guard, but they had Patrick Beverley being the starting guard there. I don't think he appreciated that smack in the face by just putting him at the two, maybe not speaking to him and communicating him and letting him know what's going on. I think we're all men here, and I think he appreciates, and all men appreciate to be spoken to before you've been pulled and, delegated to a position you're not comfortable with. I think he could play the 2-in-1 position very easily. But I think D'Angelo has a lot of pride. He wants to lead a team, and why not the New York Knicks?
Absolutely. And, me and you've been speaking about D'Angelo Russell for quite some time, even before our last show. We've always been big fans of him, even his days in the New Jersey Nets. I remember when he was a free agent, and I was hot and heavy over him. I wanted him to come over here, and things didn't work out that way. Listen, from a Knicks fan point of view and from a management point of view, it's a win-win situation, in my opinion. You try him out. If it works, you look like you're golden, and everybody congratulates you and everybody applauds the decision making that you made. And if it doesn't work, you can let him walk. It's a still win situation because you still developing quickly. You got rid of Julius Randle's contract, and Obi Toppin gets to start, and you get to play the young guys and keep continuing to grow this youth movement. So that's a plus. I know I'm going to get your chat a little upset right now, but listen, guys, unfortunately, the Russell Westbrook trades are starting to pick up again. CK mentioned it. The franchise mentioned it. And I'm listening to their feedback on it, because the minute I hear it, Russell Westbrook's name, I don't want no part of the whole trade. I'm just like, no, no, no. I don't even
Makes me
want to
cringe.
cater to it. It makes you cringe, hurts your stomach.
Yeah.
But I was listening to a lot of viewers on their show and a lot of their commentary, and a lot of their stuff unfortunately made sense. They make almost the same amount of money this year coming up, and Russell Westbrook just has 1 year left on his deal. So if we was to trade a Julius for a Westbrook, this is what they're saying, with for Westbrook and 2 draft picks, we get rid of Julius's contract. It's the same situation. We try Westbrook, who's a fashion nova, who years ago made we wanted him to be here in New York per se because he was a human highlight film and his fashion sense and everything. This is Broadway, so let's Fifth Avenue. Everybody knows that New York is the fashion capital of the country. So that's why they were saying if it works, again, you look like you made the greatest basketball decision ever. If it doesn't work, you let him walk. You only did with him for a year, and you still got rid of Julius, and you still keep the young guys and the young core. I want to get your take on it. It's very tough for me to swallow and bite. But even Phil Jackson, I know your fans are as educated as all of us, and so are mine. Everybody's been hearing that Phil Jackson is back in kind of in sort of some power in Los Angeles, and he'd rather get rid of LeBron James, and I quote, and keep Russell Westbrook, ladies and gentlemen. So, give it a week or so. That's going to be another rumor. LeBron James to New York to finish out his career, and just get ready for it. But besides that, what do you think about this Westbrook? I even got one up on my screen, Julius and Evan Fournier for Westbrook, just to make the money situation work. With the 2 draft picks, don't forget about that. We will get back in return. What do you and your fans think? I would love for you guys to comment on Zenroy's channel and as well as mine if you can. And just give us your feedback on yay or nay for this trade to happen.
Well, you're bringing Westbrook, okay? He's not a headache as Randall. The only thing about Westbrook that bothers me, he has Randall issues offensively, where he can try to do too much with the ball unnecessarily. And if you do get him, Thibodeau has to say, do not shoot threes, because his shooting percentage out from threes is horrible. I mean, as a penetrator and going to the basket and making things happen, yes. But please negate the 3-point shot. In terms of giving up Fournier and Randall, you'll get rid of a lot of the cap money that you gave up in terms of your cap space. In terms, you're giving up a lot of money away, but it'll make the team for the future. That's what Leon Rose wants. I can see Leon Rose biting into something like this to bring more of the youth, and that's what he's going for. This is the detention that Thibodeau and Leon Rose always had. Leon Rose is a guy who wants to build this team from the ground up. Thibodeau is give me that veteran, give me that star player, which I can make me win. And this is the detention they had last year when they put Cam Reddish in here, and when they brought Fournier, and when they brought other players here, like Kemba Walker. That was a Thibodeau type move. And Leon Rose, just to do it made him happy. Now, is this Russell Westbrook something to try to please Thibodeau? Or does Leon Rose stay with his guns, stick to his guns and say, no, we're building this from the ground up. We'll get rid of Randall, and we'll bring a younger player in like D'Angelo Russell, not deal with Westbrook, who's 40 years old. I'm just kidding. He's about 35, but and is an effective player. But once you start shooting the ball and get out of control, a lot of the Knicks Nation are just going to put their hands in their head and said, "Oh no, what did we do? Let's build with the youth. Quentin Grimes, keep Fournier here. He's a valuable outside shooter. He broke the Knicks 3-point record. Obviously, his defense is not up to par. He does hustle. He does throw his body.
He did get better at the end of the year. I did see some flashes of him getting better.
So if I had my choice, Juby, I would stay away from that Westbrook and try to go younger and get rid of Randall. I know you can get 2 draft picks from the Los Angeles Lakers, but what can that be worth? Who knows?
Well, they were mentioning 2 first-rounders. That's the only reason that caught my attention was those 2 first-round draft picks. And I don't know. I mean, I was scratching my head, my beard, and I was sitting there going, all right, worst case scenario, we don't get Donovan Mitchell, we don't get D'Angelo Russell. Would I be satisfied with this move come moving forward, come start of the NBA season?
King Ribby makes a good point. He says we'll receive like 40 to 60 million. He's making somewhere between 40 and 50 million dollars in contract.
Westbrook 42 this season.
42. And whatever he
42.
has left in his contract. So you're bringing back about what, 60, 70 million dollars back, maybe more. I don't think that's an option right now. And then you get rid of your Fournier, who's a good value outside shooter. And those two number ones don't really entice me right now, at least.
Wow.
Let's stay with the Russell thing. If I had my choice, bring D'Lo here, see what he does. He's young enough. Remember, he led the Brooklyn team into that playoff that year. I know he had some bad vibes with the Lakers by talking about somebody's wife on the team. We're not going to go back there. It was a few years back. He was very young.
He was
young. A rookie. He did some unscrupulous things as a young guy, and we all do it when you're a young person thinking you're this person of the world, or you have all this testosterone running in you. You're the man and this and that. But I think he's 26 years old. He's very mature. He can lead this Knicks team to possibly a playoff run and maybe the promised land.
I agree. Listen, I'm all in for D'Lo. I'm with you. Let's stay away from Westbrook. Another name I want to stay away from, and I'm sure your chat might agree, and if they know it, I would love to hear it as well. The Rudy Gobert rumors. If we don't get Donovan Mitchell, I'm hearing that we can make a trade happen for Rudy Gobert. I really don't like Rudy Gobert. I'm not saying he's not talented. I think he's a great basketball player. I just don't think we need him. I think we already have Jericho Sims, who are we developing. We have possibly Mitchell Robinson. Even if Mitchell Robinson leaves, we still have Sims. We still have these first-round draft picks this coming season where we could fill in that void. I don't really want to invest into Rudy Gobert. I'm not at all enticing that move. And the Donovan Mitchell, I'm hearing that we can maybe make it happen even without RJ Barrett in the move, but we would have to give up Quentin Grimes and an Emmanuel Quickly, and that's not something I know you're not really fond of, Zenray, but we always said it. In order to receive, you have to give. So
yeah, but I listen. I know the Knicks fans want a point guard so bad, but to go do a la Carmelo Anthony, part two.
Well, if it's Grimes and Quickly, and some, let's say, draft picks, you wouldn't do that?
They want more than that. They're going to want more than that. They're not going to want 2 draft picks and Grimes Quickly. They're going to want Obi as well. They're probably going to want Cam Reddish as well, and probably 2 or 3 number 1 picks. That's the a la Carmelo Anthony part 2 again, and you don't want to go there. I like Leon Rose's philosophy. Build a team from the ground up, the foundation. I know you have to tease Thibodeau a little bit by bringing him a veteran player, or a person who's capable. D'Angelo Russell comes to mind, and that Russell Westbrook, I can see that as a possibility. But to give up Evan Fournier in that deal, that kind of hurts a little bit. Let's go with the youth. D'Angelo Russell is still 26 years of age. He can lead an NBA team, and that's our best case scenario at this juncture. Or, like Don mentioned in the comments before, keep Quickly here, build with Quickly.
Hey, Don, I hear that.
Yeah, what you had in Quickly in the last 7-8 games, and basically run with him, McBride, Rokobitis. You can have a backup like that, so you can build this team with the youth. You don't know what you have with this Lithuanian playing in the Spanish league. I mean, he won the Euro Cup for the team. He scored like 9 straight points to bring him to victory and win the championship. So there's some talent in this kid, and we have to give props to Knicks management, starting with Leon Rose and Worldwide West and Brock Outler. These guys, they do a very good job in picking the right person for this team and draft very well. Look at Sims they picked up, McBride, Quentin Grimes. They've done a very good job. And Obi Toppin was only picked because they thought, and they didn't pick the point guard. They picked Obi because they had a feeling, their assignment, or what they thought they think they were going to do, is to trade Randall in the process. But when Randall was always a Tibbs player, so they had Obi and Randall, and now they had a predicament. Now, you know, Tibbs wants to play Randall. Obi doesn't get playing time. He proved in the last 8, 9 games that he deserves to play. And so Randall's a 2010 guy. Obi to start off next year could be an 18-7 guy. Could that be a big difference? No. Let's go Obi topping, bring D'Angelo Russell here to New York, and the tide will start shifting here in New York, and possibly a playoff run.
Listen. I'm all for the youth movement. You know, I've been talking about Obi all season long. Free Obi, and then when they finally did, you know, everybody was on his case saying that he needs time to develop. I don't think he needs time to develop. I knew since day one when they drafted that kid that he was going to be someone special. That he was Amari Stoudemire 2.0 in the making, if you will, maybe with a better jump shot, but has the potential to be that kind of powerhouse, power forward, if you will. And I'm just glad that he's getting recognized for it. I'm hoping we move forward with him. Do I see us trading Julius Randle?
Yes,
I would hope so. But those at the end of the season, those little games of Leon Rose and Allen Houston and Julius Randle attending the Dallas Mavericks game kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I know it did for you as well. We didn't understand that move from a management's point of view. If you're going to move elsewhere in a different direction, but maybe it was just a smokescreen for in-house development as well. You know, but only time will tell, guys. You know, we got to remember Cam Reddish was brought here at the break. We didn't really get to see too much of him. So even though he was part of the team last year, going into the summer camp and going into training camp, I look at that as a new acquisition that we got because we really didn't see his full potential. And I remember him from his Duke days and his Atlanta days. And you remember he requested a trade from Atlanta because he wants star quality potential. So I say let's give that guy a go. Let him run it with the young guys. And the D'Angelo Russell, I would sign that move in a heartbeat for Julius Randle straight up. If you can make that move happen, even if you have to throw in an Alex Burke and a Kemba Walker or anything like that, by all means, please make that move happen. Just because I want to see Obi Toppin get the minutes that he deserves here in New York City and quickly.
I totally agree, but I also agree with King Ribby RM. He says, you know, get rid of Randall, Kemba, and Nerlens Noel for either Russell or D'Lo. I'm on the same path. I would go for D'Lo first, and if D'Lo is not there, I would just like, okay, Russell can work as well, but we just have to limit him to a lot of different things that Thibodeau has to institute in his game plan. But my first choice, as King Ribby RM says, D'Lo is the option for all people in New York. I think if you had to take a vote from Knick Nation, D'Lo would be first in line. And he also mentions King Ribby. mentions that quickly needs probably another year, maybe another year and a half before he can get his feet wet more in terms of learn more position. I can agree with that. He can learn after D'Lo comes for 1 year and maybe learn another year behind him. I can see that happening. So some great comments and involvement here with King Ribby, Don. I appreciate you guys for coming on and commenting. Like I said, New York fans are very intelligent. We want us to get to the promised land, but it starts with the foundation that Leon Rose has to start building here. And you can't do quick fix like we did back in the past. These days of doing quick fixes like for Carmelo Anthony and trading half the team, bringing a star player. So you bring a star player here and you give half away the team. What is that star player going to do for the team? Yeah, he's going to score 40 points a game, maybe 45 points a game, but end up losing by 5 points or 3 points, or maybe losing by 1 point at the end. It doesn't match. It doesn't make the team cohesive and having players coming from the outside. But when you start building within and start bringing these players like Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride, you brought young Cam Reddish in here. You have RJ. You have an Obi Topping. Think of all these young assets that we have on this team. Let's build with the future, the youth. If you can add a point guard like D'Lo, which is not going to cost you much, you get rid of a bad apple from the team and bring in D'Lo. I think the Knicks can make a run in the playoffs and maybe in the near future can bring that ring and that championship to New York.
Oh my God, I would love to see that in my lifetime before I leave this earth. Just to see one Knicks championship, that'll be a sight to see. Listen, Detroit did it, guys, in the early 2000s. We remember the Detroit Pistons. They did it with no superstars. The regular players who became superstars. Memphis Grizzlies are went without Jay Morant, and it just comes to show you, as long as you have talent, you don't need superstars. Look at the Memphis Grizzlies. Another name, Zenray, that's been mentioned in the Knicks rumors is this guy, what's his name? Tyrese Jones from
Yeah,
Memphis.
Tyus Jones.
Tyus
We go
Jones.
back. You bring the subject Tyus Jones. Okay, so Tyus Jones has been in the league almost 3 years. He's been a backup. As a backup, he's done well when Ja Morant was out. His numbers were pretty impressive, but he's a young player. Why not deal with the youth we have in Quickly and McBride? And why would we bring a Tyus Jones here? That really makes no sense when the abilities to Quickly and Tyus Jones are probably about the same. The only thing Tyus Jones is a natural point guard. Quickly is a 2, and he's learning how to play the point. So why would you bring Tyus Jones here on a trade? You could probably get him on a cheap for $10 million, but is he going to be your answer at point guard? Now, D'Lo makes a lot of sense.
I think the D'Lo, of course, makes a whole lot of sense. But if that D'Lo doesn't fall through, I wouldn't mind that trade, because I'll tell you why. Derrick Rose, as much as I love him, he's not a guarantee that his knees are going to hold up throughout the season. Kemba Walker is not going to be in a Knicks uniform come training camp. He'll be bought out or he'll be traded. McBride only has... let's just be nice and say he has a season, even though he didn't play worth a season. And Jokubaitis, you can tell me that the guy's a superstar, NBA development, he's NBA ready. Fact of the matter is, he's in the Euro League. He'll still need a year or two, even if he's on the team, to be some kind of NBA ready. So I would definitely pick up that Jones kid as a backup, as a reassurance, just in case Derrick Rose goes down. You have Quickly, who could step up in there, and then you have McBride and Jones, who you can alternate from, because I don't think that Quickly and McBride will make that work, and I really don't want to see Alex Burke in that position come next season.
Well, yeah, I come in a borderline with Tyus Jones. That's if the Westbrook thing doesn't work out.
That's if the D'Lo, yeah, exactly. Right. That's exactly what I mean.
And then, but the thing is, you still have to find suitors for Randall, because you bring a Tyus Jones here. Okay, Tyus Jones will be nice, not the greatest, but he could be a nice player as a point guard. Got Alfred Payton type player, maybe a little better than Alfred Payton. But you have to find room for Obi. So you have to find suitors for Randall, Burks, and you have to get rid of those two main players to make room on this team.
And Noel, get him out of here.
And Nerlens Noel. Those are the top 3 players you have to move out. Contract-wise, you would save a lot of money on your cap. And also, if Tyus Jones is your last option, okay, I can go for something like that. But first, you have to bring some heavy hitters in here, like a D'Angelo Russell. I'm telling you guys, people don't appreciate what this guy has done, how he's led many teams, and he is very talented. He just needs a good coach behind him that's going to push him the right way and kind of encourage him. Coach Finch right now, he's in Coach Finch's doghouse, and he is being traded some way or another. He's going to be traded to someone. Hopefully, it'll be the Knicks.
Listen, I'm 100% fan. Chat, I'm in D'Angelo Russell 100%. Like I said, if I could sign that deal tomorrow, right now, I'll sign it right now on the dotted line. Westbrook, worst case scenario, if it's just Julius for Westbrook or Julius and Alex Burks for Westbrook, and we get back to 2 picks, why not? It's just for 1 year. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, you let him walk. I'm Zenray. For me, myself, I don't know how much more do you have planned to let us know. If you want to let my chat know, I'm just going to ask you one question. LeBron James becomes available. Yes or no? Knick Nation, Knick fans. As a Knick fan for years, I always said, you know what, LeBron pooped on us. I'm going to keep it rated PG-13. He pooped on us when he went to Miami. He pooped on us so many times. Would you still want the king to come to New York and run with a RJ Barrett?
Listen, that boat sailed a long time ago. When he made the decision, he peaked the Miami Heat. I mean, he had the Knicks hanging. The Knicks sort of thought they had a shot with him. The same thing we had a shot with Durant and Kyrie Irving. we were kind of left in the dust, let's say per se. Ship has sailed a long time ago. I wish LeBron James the best. I think he's one of the greatest players ever lived. But I wouldn't touch that right now. We have to stick with the Leon Rose plan, build the foundation, get it strong, and watch this Nick youth take over in the next couple of years. And hopefully in the next 3 years, 4 years, we'll be competing in the Eastern Conference Finals and possibly making the finals to win that championship.
And doing a live show from the NBA playoffs and hopefully in the parade.
Yes, I totally agree. I think Barrett is the guy here right now who has the reins to take over this team. I think he's getting better every year. You add him, you have players like Obi on that line, and you bring his friend Cam Reddish. Hopefully, Zion will be something in the near future if he stays healthy. So I can see these three Duke products playing together and making an evolution of Knick basketball to years to come. I mean, that'll be something. 3 Duke star players playing in New York. Wow,
Oof.
that can only be a dream come true. But that's only if Zion can stay off the Big Macs, stay healthy, and just not be injured constantly. And those are the questions we have with Mitchell Robinson as well. That's why these negotiations are taking longer. I think they're playing like a good match of chess, and the representatives are probably saying he's worth this much. This player got this much, and the Knicks are saying no, this is what we can pay. And at the end, I think it's going to be Mitchell Robinson and his camp who are going to decide if he's going to stay with the Knicks or not.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are exactly 4 days away from the NBA lottery. I don't know who's representing the Knicks in the NBA ping pong. Will the ping pongs drop our way? We have been known, even though we got that Porzingis and the top 3 pick, the ping pong balls have not been nice to us since the 80s, if you will. They've tried everybody. I mean, somebody on Twitter the other day, they said maybe we should just have Jim Dolan out there trying to draw those ping pongs just for giggles. But we'll see. I'm excited. Right now, we're projected for the 11th pick in the NBA draft. I know that's still a month and something away, but the lottery is this Tuesday, Zenray. So look out for that for your fans. I'm pretty sure things are going to start heating up even more, like I said, as we get closer to the NBA draft night. You're going to hear so many rumors, so many speculations. Like I said, this is that time of year where reporters make their money, where social media and Twitter goes crazy.
Yeah, so I agree. I think the ping pongs, we need some luck our way. And I would bring up either Obi Toppin or RJ Barrett to represent
I would bring
us.
up RJ. I would bring up RJ and quickly and do it together
at the same time. Bring RJ and Obi because they're the future of this team. And I also want to mention, King Ribby RM says that take a look. I know he says he thinks and he knows that Malcolm Brogdon is injury prone. We should take a look at him. I think we spoke about that.
Yeah.
Talented player. I think he can lead this Knick team definitely to the promised land. He's capable of doing so much things to help this Knick team. The only problem with him, if him and Miles Turner would stay healthy, think about that Indiana Pacers team where they can be. If these players can stay on the court, that's the only challenge. That's the only iffy part here that management has to think. Do you take a chance on an injury-prone player? I think Leon Rhodes is going to stick to his guns, stick with the youth, get a D'Angelo Russell who's not injury-prone, and see what happens there. In terms of the ping pong balls bouncing our way, if we can get up somewhere anywhere between 6 and 8, there's a lot of talent in this thing. I'm just looking. I just made a video on Sheldon Sharp, the sharpshooter. I think I look at him and he is, for me, looking back in the day, like the Iceman, George Gervin. He can shoot the rock very well, and he has made progress in his jump shot. He's getting better and better. A big frame who can slam, and he's like an Obi type player, athletic, very big and long, wingspan, 7 foot. This kid is special, and I can see the Knicks going for a player of that caliber. He's only 18. He's going to turn 19 in, I think, another 15 days, 16 days from now. He'll be 19 years of age. But if you can pick up a talent and groom a talent like that as a shooting guard who can play also the forward position, and is big enough one day probably to play the power forward position, this is the kind of things you build this team with. And if the Knicks get lucky in those ping pongs and get up there, I would take a chance on this kid. Even though he didn't play for Kentucky, he was He didn't play the last half of the season. He was supposed to come in. They had some paperwork issue on his eligibility and things of that nature. But the talent this kid has, his upside is so high. I would take a shot at that point guard. That shooting guard. We need shooting from the shooting guard area, from the forward position as well. I look forward for the draft. Hopefully, those ping pongs bounce our way. Take a look at my video about him. I had a couple of description about him. I just posted that maybe in a couple of hours back. The Knicks have to search, or maybe a Ty Wigginson from Kentucky as well, the point guard. Point guard, if you want to develop another point guard. But I think we have too many point guards along the way.
Yeah.
So let's focus on shooting on the Knicks. So let's see what happens. Listen. I appreciate everyone who's getting involved here. Don, King Ribby, for making comments. And like I said, New York fans are the most knowledgeable when it comes to sports. We know what we want. Sometimes management gets in the way and we get a little impatient. But I think Leon Rose is doing it the right way. I don't think we're going to go on the limb and make some crazy trades and bring one player for 5 players. I don't think Leon Rose is going to do that. That's why I think that that Donovan Mitchell thing is pretty much dead. And even Dallas with Jalen Brunson, I don't see that happening. I think Dallas knows what they have in him. Yeah. They're going to give him the bag. He's happy there. They go into a Game 7 coming up. It's very interesting to find out what's going to happen there. The NBA, the Heat made it there. Philly, they look like a mess. So you think the Knicks have challenges? Look at Philadelphia. They're a tease like the Dallas Cowboys. They get all these players, but they never get to the promised land. So, Juby, I don't know what else you want to speak about, but I think the Knicks are in the right direction. I think they're going to build through the draft. I think right now we find the talent, we build it, we get a point guard here. If we don't, we keep what we have here. Maybe, like you mentioned, pick up a Tyus Jones at a cheap, a $10 million contract. He backed up Ja Morant. He did very, very well backing him up. And let's see what goes from there. I want to get people's involvement. Make a comment at what point guard is available. Who do you think is possible? What the rumors that you hear on your end. Tell us if how we can better our show and make us better in terms of our commentary. And I appreciate all New York Nation and New York Knick Nation and everyone who's watching and getting involved. The comments and the views on my videos have been very delightful the last week or so, and I greatly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Juby, I don't know what else you want to say. I appreciate you and everybody from Family Above Everything. New York Straight Sports Talk is here to serve not only New Yorkers like us, but serve everybody around the world.
I appreciate everybody at Zenray Sports TV for having us here. It's always a pleasure. I look forward to every time we do a show together. Like I said, guys, me and Zenray known each other for a while. We come on here not be only because we just love doing this, but we love the Knicks as fans. Even when we work together, this is what we do when we're working together. We're coming up with scenarios, how we can make our team better, what the Knicks need to do. Long life Knick fans, good friend of mine, and I'm excited for what's to come. It's going to be a great off season. We're only going to get better here. And like he said, please leave a comment. Let us know what we can do to make our videos better. And if you have any recommendations and if you have any suggestions on who the Knicks should look into, we're always looking to, for comments. And just want to say appreciate you guys. And as always, family above everything.
Yes. Thank you, Family Above Everything, Juby the Tubi, Family Above Everything. I just want to mention that we also plan our anniversaries coming up in the next month or so, and we're probably going to get some callers to come on live. We're going to reach out to a couple of callers to see if they have time to reach out on our anniversaries.
A year in the making, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done.
Right. So we're planning to do something like that. So if you get an email from us, it's not something that you being scammed or something like that nature, from Zenray. It's from Zenray TV at gmail.com, and we'll reach out to you and find out if you're available at certain hours, certain days. And also we're going to have a special guest who is a crypto enthusiast. That's a possibility that may come on our show on our anniversary. I'm working on a couple other things and see what happens for our first year anniversary coming up.
Stay tuned for those giveaways too, guys. We got some giveaways too for our show. Sponsored, I know you guys know Zenray, and my chat knows Straight Talk Family Above Everything. Link is in the description. Check it out. We're definitely going to be doing some giveaways, some Nick tumblers, maybe some Nick hats, Nick shirts. Stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll do a little trivia in the actual chat. And just for you guys showing up and being here with us and commenting like these guys are doing in Zen Ray's channel, that's what we appreciate and love.
Yes, appreciate all of you. And let me just say that you can catch me on Discord at New York Straight Sports Talk. And if you have any comments there, or you can catch me here in the comments below. Give us your opinion, your feedback. Juby, I greatly appreciate you being here. Everyone who's got involved today, I greatly appreciate all of you guys, Don, King Riby, and the people who are watching now. I put a couple of videos out the last few days of some highlights on players that we have and players in the draft they're going to be drafting. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, never give up, knowing that the best is yet to come, as long as you have love, peace, and gratitude. Juby, it was great. Thanks again.
Thank you, my brother.
Zen Ray out.
Go New York, go New York, go. Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right, chat. That was Zen Ray with Zen Ray Sports TV. Check out his stuff. He got some videos on his channel. You could buy this and a couple of draft prospects. He's always dropping some new content. Appreciate you guys stopping in and watching the show. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that thumbs up for your boy to get the notifications on when I'm live. If you have any comments, recommendations, those are always welcome as well. But until next time, as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New